Good morning, natural gas. It's Monday, April 27th, 2026. I'm Tim Beggins, president of Elk Trading Company, and this is the top news for natural gas. Number one, the Iran war negotiation dance continues. Number two, in the U.S. Southwest, natural gas prices were trading below $1. In fact, the entire West Coast was below $1.20. Number three, the Golden Pass LNG facility is running steadily. And number four, the EU natural gas storage injections are off to a slow start. Let's turn to the spot May contract, and today is option expiration. That's right, futures tomorrow. So we've got a movement here to hold above the 250 strike for options. Currently, right now, we're trading at 261, up 8.9 cents, or actually 2612, or over 3.5%. And as you can see, the RSI is sideways. So we've got very little time just today and tomorrow to trade the May contract. So be careful here. Either get out or roll over to another contract. And let's take a look at the options here for the May. And we're stuck. Here we go. Let's take a look. We're the highest open interest for the 250 strike here, over 31,498 open interest. So this has to come off the board today. Again, we've got some movement here at 230, and then above it at 275. But the highest open interest here is at the 250 strike. So that's going to be defended today. This is the puts. We'll look to see if this holds because we've got some weather. And here's ERCOT. And let's take a look. We've got some good renewables today, both wind and solar. Wind stays subdued throughout the major part of the day, but we still have over 41,000 megawatts. But guess what we have today? We've got 73,901 megawatts that's forecast for the grid. This is a record. The record was set last year for April, over 65,000 megawatts, but this is 8,000 more. And we've got that continuing again through tomorrow. Will be over 73,000 megawatts for load. What does that mean? It means natural gas has got some demand, and that's what's doing right now. Over 37% of the fuel mix is natural gas. This will increase as we get through the day. And let's take a look at the LNG markets here. Very little traffic still moving through the Strait of Hormuz. There is nothing loading right now at Ras Laffan. We still see the two LNG tankers that are pushing up between Qatar and Kuwait. Again, Kuwait needs natural gas in the form of LNG for power generation, which has been used to desalinate the water here for drinking purposes. What else is, let's also go over to the East Coast, for the Gulf Coast, excuse me, for the United States. And let's take a look at the HLC Eagle. It continues to be in mourning out here on the Gulf, away from Beaumont right now, and Port Arthur. It is nothing loading here yet at Golden Pass for its second cargo. So while things are still being produced, we don't have a second cargo yet. What else is going on? Well, we've got a lot of earthquake activity again here on the Ring of Fire around Japan. And just a little while ago in the northern island of Hokkaido, we had a big 6.1 earthquake here. And so now the Ring of Fire is active all the way through the northern portion of Japan, through Tokyo Bay, down through the Isles, and into Taiwan. So the entire Ring of Fire is active in this region. So we'll keep a careful eye on this, because if this starts to get much more active, they tend to turn down the nuclear units, and that means they need more natural gas in the form of LNG. And how about LNG? Golden Pass LNG is running at 380,000 MMBTUs. Again, this is about 45% of its total capacity, between 800 and 850,000 MMBTUs. So they're still making LNG. It's slow, but they're supposed to ramp up to full capacity by July. And let's take a look at the June contract, because this will become spot on Wednesday. And currently, right now, we're trading up to 2802, up 11.8 cents. And as you can see here, the RSI is turning positive. We're through the first and second resistance on the pivot system. So our next resistance level is 2823. So let's keep a careful eye on this with ERCOT pushing record record loads in April. This is going to get some support for the June and summer contracts. So take a look here for the natural gas prices. As we mentioned, the West Coast was very, very low for natural gas prices. Why? Demand was low and renewables were high. And as you can see here for the Southwest, 71 cents, Southern California, 79. And as you can see, the Northwest was 84 cents. Northern California, just $1.18. So let's take a look at the front to back spreads. This is Jan versus October. This is one of the injection spreads. And as you can see right now, we've got a little bit of profit taking. We're down 4.8 cents to 145.60 on the Jan versus October. The RSI is trying to turn lower. And we've included here the anchored volume profile. And as you can see, we have big volume here when we broke out back in January, late January. Again, when we broke out to the second time here for early March, March the 2nd. And we've got a lot of volume here at 138 area. As you can see, we're going to see if this holds here on the 9-period exponential moving average, which comes in at 143.3. That will be our first support. And then again, 138. We'll see if we're going to stabilize here before we begin to push back out again. And here's the strip for Novi through March. This is actually up. And as you can see, we're up 4.6 cents here to 398.70 right now, up 4.5. The RSI still remains in the positive territory. So we've got some bargain hunting here. Why? Because as the Iran war continues, that means there's upward pressure on winter LNG prices globally. This would probably lift natural gas prices, at least keep them stable. How about Europe? Well, it's cold right now in Germany all the way through the eastern parts of Europe, and this continues for a few more days here. As you can see, all the way through the end of the month here, this pushes down into southern Europe, into Greece and Turkey, and this continues once again as we get into early May. This continues to just kind of be colder than normal. This pushing in from Russia all the way through Scandinavia. Again, here's May the 11th. It's quite cold in Eastern Europe, and this pushes back into parts of France and Germany. So let's take a look at European storage. We're currently over 31.5% full, but injections are fairly light. They're running around the 5-year average. And we know that certain countries are in real trouble because they're very, very low. Let's take a look at the Netherlands. And as you can see right now, that's a new low for them in storage. And they have yet to really ramp up storage injections. They're holding near the 5-year average. They're only 8.9% full. How about Asia? Well, Asia is a mixed bag here. We do see some colder temperatures moving through the Chinese provinces, Eastern China, around the 28th here. That's just tomorrow. And this pushes on for the next few days. It is a mixed bag as we go through the forecast period here, but mainly slightly below normal. As we get into May, it starts to stabilize, and then it just becomes mixed with a little bit of cold lingering around the Korean Peninsula. How about the U.S. nuclear fleet here? So we are currently at 19.6 gigawatts that are offline right now for today. And right now, as you can see, we've got just 3 units that are fully down. One of them, Palisades, is coming back from decommissioning. It's supposed to be back by summer. It's been quite late, but they're still running into regulatory overviews. So let's take a look at the drought. This is a big problem. It's expanding, as you can see, in Colorado, and it's expanding around Florida, Georgia, into parts of Alabama, it looks like. How about the tropics? Well, we still have the Saharan air layer. That dust continues to move across the mid-Atlantic, as you can see right now, pushing into South America. This will inhibit any storm development as we approach the June 1st start of the Atlantic hurricane season. How about our stocks? These are stocks in the oil and gas E&P sector. Stocks between $2 and $10 billion have a high short float. And today, it's a sea of green. That's right, because crude oil and natural gas prices are positive. Everybody, including CNX behind me, up 2.2%. So green is good. These stocks will lift if prices stabilize and start to move higher because they have a high short float. Let's take again a look at the May contract. Again, today is option expiration. Futures go off the board tomorrow. We're currently trading at 2,615, up 9.2 cents or over 3.5%. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.